Good evening. So tonight we head to the Bay Area in California to speak with Tony Hanna. So thank you, Tony, for joining us. As I
Thank
know,
you.
it's only about 11 o'clock in the morning there.
Yeah, it's 11. Yeah.
So I previously lived in Foster City, so just about an hour south of you,
Uh-huh.
but it's not exactly known, that kind of area, for the country music scene. So what
Yeah.
is the country
It,
music and folk scene kind of like around that area?
yeah, I mean, it's weird. I mean, I guess you would say like mostly tech industry here, but there are some old honky tonks here that if you do a little bit of digging, there is actually kind of a vibrant country music scene. Well, I wouldn't say vibrant. I mean, it's not like Nashville or anything, but people two-step here and stuff at shows. And yeah, we've got a few country nights going. Before the lockdown happened, there were some venues that did country nights. And yeah, I was getting into it before the lockdown, so, or COVID lockdown this time last year. But yeah, it's not exactly known for country music, but there is a little scene. Yeah.
So you're probably one of those rare artists who actually started life in Tennessee
Hmm.
and then moved away. You were quite young, weren't you? So what kind of reaction do you get from other artists in the Bay Area when you kind of say that you came from Tennessee, and that's probably for a lot of them, that's their dream move?
I think that everybody's like, I think they're a little bit surprised because I don't have a country accent. But I think that they're kind of like, whoa, you grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's pretty cool. And I feel like I have, I grew up in that. So I feel like I've got that background, those roots to draw from. I feel like I have a little bit of an in or something that maybe people who grew up here don't have in some way. But yeah.
So we've spoken with a few artists from Nashville in recent weeks, and obviously things are
Uh-huh.
starting to open up back there for live shows and writers' rounds. What's the current situation in California then?
Things still aren't open. Yeah, it's pretty. I think people are kind of maybe if they are doing shows, they're doing like outdoor shows and stuff. I'm actually heading to Nashville this spring though, and I'm going to be moving there hopefully. So I hope to get involved with those writer rounds out there and things like that. Writer rounds don't really exist here. They didn't before COVID anyway, but shows existed and now they don't anymore. So yeah, that's what's
So
going on in the Bay Area.
so a year has now kind of passed since you finished playing live shows. How
Mhm.
do you look back on that last show you did?
It was so much fun. It was a country cover band show that I did. So I was singing all my favorite tunes with a full backing band. And there was little, murmurs of this COVID virus, and we didn't really know how serious it was going to be. And then it seemed like a week after that show, it was just like everything just shut down, and it was like our world was turned upside down. But yeah, so I was lucky enough to have a really awesome to go out with a bang, you know. Yeah.
It's always the best way to finish it, isn't it? It makes it nice and memorable for you.
Yeah.
Now, you've been on our Instagram account, and yesterday or last night for us, you posted about International Women's Day,
Yeah.
and you kind of mentioned some of the female music idols that you have. What are your earliest memories of some of these singers that you mentioned?
So Dolly Parton is someone that I really remember vividly because I would go to her theme park a lot growing up, Dollywood. It's like in the Appalachian Mountains, kind of in Tennessee, near where I grew up. So Dolly Parton for sure. I even saw her perform there once when I was a little kid, and she was just like such a big inspiration. She is to everyone, and then like later on, I started collecting like 80s country tapes like Roseanne Cash, Tanya Tucker, the Judds, and Bonnie Raitt. I'm still very much obsessed with all those artists. So I just keep drawing from that inspiration, and it just keeps continuing. I hope that other people like them as much as I do. I don't know. Sometimes I get mixed reaction from people, but yeah. Everybody loves Dolly though. So
So how much of your sound and writing do you think is kind of influenced by these artists today?
I think like some of my more upbeat country tunes are a little more influenced by them. But I think some of my more sad folk sounding tunes are probably more influenced by Jillian Welch and Emmylou Harris. Yeah, so they were kind of my inspiration growing up too. Just always loved the lyrics that they used, and just kind of like, I mean, Emmylou Harris had that kind of hot country band going on, so I wasn't really into that as a kid, but I was kind of into her later stuff, though it's a little more soft and, you know, I guess people call it bluegrass, but I don't really think it's that bluegrassy. I think it's more folk sounding. Yeah.
Now, your debut EP, Premonitions, is out, and it came out at the start of December. What was it like getting this EP together?
Getting it? Well, I was planned to record the week that things shut down. Like this time last year, I was supposed to record it, and then it got put off. And I was like, I don't know when this is ever going to come out. I don't know when I'm going to be able to record. But thankfully, come August, we were able to get into the studio, and we got a great group of session players together, and we recorded at this studio that's known for like analog, and so we were able to go like straight to tape, so it's got like this really warm quality to it, and it was just like a nice experience to have that, not having been around musicians for so long, for like, you know, months and months and months, and then leading up to, and then August hits and I'm able to be around these amazing musicians, and it just felt like such a great collaboration, you know, during such a hard time. And then during that week that we were recording in August, California was on fire. Like we couldn't see the sky, like the sun, it was like this weird Blade Runner effect on the sky. Like, so we were in the studio, and then we'd come out for like smoke breaks or whatever, and we were just like, where's the sun? Like, this is so crazy. It's so post-apocalyptic right now. But something about making art during that time was kind of a nice thing, you know, in an end time scenario kind of situation.
So before we hear a track from the EP,
Yeah.
what do you think are going to be in 10 years' time? What kind of memory do you think you're going to look back on at the making of the EP?
Probably that. Like, yeah. And also like that weird like end times feeling of like, you know, what's going to happen tomorrow, but also this like warm feeling of like, I'm making my dream EP, you know, there's something comforting about that. Yeah, so I'll probably remember that, you know. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to play us a song now. What song are you going to play first?
I'll play, let's see, I'll play Small Money. Yeah. Look, they dealt the same old cards they dealt before. It's not the game, it's not the players, it's who's keeping score. Unemployment checks been scanned, it didn't make a dent. Small money's got a big price to pay. I've been saving for that dream that doesn't cost a cent. Years I've seen fade away are worth a million, I bet. It ain't written in the stars, it's in my own working hand. Small money's got a big price to pay. It's a wild, wild west out there. Everybody's got their own idea of right from wrong these days. But from where I stand, the sky's still free. So is the air I breathe. Small money doesn't matter anyway. clouds descend. Years that seem to fade away are worth a million, I bet. If it ain't written in the stars, it's in my own working hand. Small money doesn't matter anyway. It's a wild, wild west out there. Everybody's got their own idea of right from wrong these days. But from where I stand, the sky is still free. So is the air I breathe. Small money doesn't matter anyway. But from where I stand, the sky is still free. So is the air I breathe. Small money doesn't matter anyway.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, so I think Steve has read my mind in the chat. This is always my first question after we see. So the guitars, and I want to know about the cowboy hats behind. So can we have a run through of the guitar and the hat setup then?
Sure. My room is like a mess right now. This is like the only clean part of it. I've got a few Stetson knockoffs. They're not real Stetsons, I have to say. But yeah, this is a Simon & Patrick guitar. This guitar I just bought at a flea market, basically, and it's here. Let me show you a picture of it. You see that one? That weird, funky looking one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just bought that at a flea market for I think like $90 or something, and it sounds really weird and jankety, but I've used it in a few music videos and stuff, and it's pretty cool for that, for the looks. And this one that I'm playing is a harmony guitar, which is like my favorite, and someone just gifted it to me for free. So yeah, it's the one I play on the regular. So yeah. Any other
always
questions?
handy to have some at the ready for any occasion, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, I understand a couple of the songs were added to the EP pretty late on after you kind of wrote them after March. So what was it like writing these songs during the lockdown period?
Well, that last song that I played is called Small Money, and it's kind of about just our situation right now, and people that are working class people just trying to make a living, and everybody has dreams and stuff. So I kind of poured my heart and soul into that during lockdown. It was hard to draw on really anything else besides what was going on at the time. So that song just kind of came out of me pretty quickly. I didn't labor over it too much. And then I wrote a song that I've been working on for a really, really long time called Paradise. And it's about growing up in Tennessee and just like my experience, with all the neighborhood kid friends and stuff that we had, and just wide open spaces and being able to roam around free. So yeah, I think that one was kind of, I had a lot of time to labor over it during lockdown. So yeah. If you ask what it's like to write songs during a time where you have a lot of days, yeah, it was kind of nice to have that break, I guess. Yeah.
Now, it's obviously a very strange time as well to release an EP.
Yeah.
And you can't kind of do any of the normal promotion that artists would do, but still, how refreshing is it to have the music out there?
It is so refreshing, especially since this is kind of like, I would call it my debut EP. And it's just really nice to have a piece of art out there that's like very much me, and something that I feel like I can use for the future, promoting and yeah, I'm just kind of trying to keep going. I want to record again this year. So yeah, just I don't know. Yeah, it's still hard times, but I'm just trying to keep a positive attitude and stuff, and just keep releasing music and shooting music videos and stuff like that. Hopefully we can play shows soon, but yeah.
Now, before we hear the next song, we're going to test your knowledge of England.
Oh gosh.
So David Hyde has obviously asked for another song. So, but do you know where Cumbria is?
I know of it, but not where it is. Yeah.
It's a very nice part of the country, right up in the north,
Okay.
in the Lake District.
Uh-huh.
So it's definitely a spot to visit. Okay, what song then are you going to play next for David?
Okay. Was that it? That was the trivia?
That's the trivia for now.
Okay. All
More
right.
can come.
I'll do Premonitions. This is my title track that I named the EP off of this song. So, yeah. Okay. Winter came and went away with the new year. Losing track of all the seasons in my life. You came around just looking for a good time. To break me down so I would let you in. But premonitions tell me you're not worth it. I've been down that road too many times. The tearful kind. I don't wanna cry anymore. Premonitions tell me I'm doing fine. Desert colors painted pictures on my mind. Vast horizons stretched beyond my eyesight. Honeysuckle breeze soaked into my skin. The sun sunk low and we just kept on driving into the night. But premonitions tell me you're not worth it. And I cherry pick those memories we had. The bad ones fade, and the good ones always stay. But premonitions tell me I'm doing fine. Bad ones fade, I'm doing fine.
Thank you very much. And that was the title track, Premonitions, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So do you think you've kind of got a particular favourite song from the EP now?
I really like the way that Setting Sun was recorded because it has a marimba. And I just love that instrument. It just has like the way it starts and yeah, just everything about it. It's a great, great song. But I think all the songs kind of go really nicely together. And I think I made it so that it was easy listening and so that you'd want to drive to it almost, and just kind of zone out on the road. And yeah, but Setting Sun is one of my favorites.
Now, when you've kind of been reading the reviews about the album, kind of how nice is it to see what people write about the music that you put your heart and soul into over the last year?
It's amazing. I just got a music review with Music Mecca, and they did such a nice job, and they asked me some really great questions, and I was able to delve deeper into why I even did this project, and it reminded me of just why I wrote these songs and why I put them out, and it was really nice to hear their kind words too. So yeah, it's everything to hear that feedback. Yeah.
So what does a live show look like for you when you're out of lockdown rather than just being behind a computer screen?
Yeah. I was playing out a lot, like as much as possible. So like pretty much I don't want to say any gig I could get, but I was playing out at local saloons and stuff, and sometimes I'd play alone, sometimes I'd have an accompanist on like pedal steel or lead guitar, and then sometimes I'd have like a 3-piece band. I went on tour with a 3-piece band, California to New York, and but then right before lockdown I was getting, I guess it was like a 4-piece band. It was like a country cover band that I was in. So that was really fun because then people can like 2-step and stuff, and and then I would pepper in some of my original songs with that, and yeah. So I kind of just I'm kind of all over the place as far as like setup goes, but I try to gear my songs towards like if it's an intimate setting and it's just me, like I want to have that, those sad songs like Premonitions or whatever that I'll sing during that time. But if it's like, a lot of people there, then I'm kind of doing more of a honky tonk thing, Yeah.
So when you perform in the cover band, are there kind of any favorite songs that you like to play?
Let's see, Why You Been Gone So Long by what is her name? Jessie Coulter. Yeah. And Emmylou Harris, Feeling Single and Seeing Double. It's a really good one. And 7 Year Ache by Roseanne Cash is one of my favorite songs of like all time. So yeah.
Now we're kind of a couple of months into 2021. What kind of aims do you think you're really setting yourself now for the rest of the year?
Well, since I'm going out to Nashville, I was actually thinking about maybe booking like some shows along the way if I can. But other than that, I mean, I really, really want to record a full-length album and have a lot of like half of the songs be like upbeat country tunes, and or 75% of it be like, upbeat country tunes, and then the rest be like some sad lilting type songs. But yeah, I would love to record with some great studio musicians in Nashville. That's kind of like my goal for this year. Yeah, because I don't know about shows yet.
Now, before you play us out, obviously you are taking over our Instagram account today, so thank you very much for that. For those watching, where is it? That I always get this wrong. Be sure to follow Tony over on Instagram herself to keep up with obviously everything that she's doing. So thank you so much
for joining us, Tony. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah.
And what song are you going to play us out with?
I'll do Setting Sun. Yeah. sky is soaked with purple hue. Little bird sings, oh, lonesome me. It's a song that I'm familiar with too. I wish that I could touch you. If you were near, darling, now there's nothing to reach out to. Like a setting sun, beauty fades. It's just the end of another day. And I'm all alone, here on my own. Maybe it's better to turn out this way. I wish that I could touch you. If you were near, darling, now there's nothing to reach out to. I wish that I could touch you. If you were near, darling, now there's nothing to reach out to.
Thank you so much for joining us, Tony. We had the same from Steve as well. So thank you very much. It's been excellent to talk with you. Excellent to kind of hear some tracks from the EP as well. And obviously you're over on our Instagram as well doing a takeover for us. So do follow along. And as I said, be sure to follow Tony and her music as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So nice to meet you.